feel like my face is getting around.
You need to start posting your Monday videos to Facebook.
Hmm?
You need to start posting your Monday videos to Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Like, will Facebook let you?
Facebook let you.
Well, I mean, we used to post a podcast to Facebook, so we'll just have to upload the actual video to Facebook again.
No, just take the YouTube link and post it to Facebook. When it airs on Mondays. Or schedule it, just get the Facebook link. I mean the YouTube link.
make sure I put it in the camera so I can see. I'm excited. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
You know how to work that?
I think, yes.
All right. Let's go.
All right. Shooting with the Scots. Episode 7. Take 1.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Shooting with the Scots.
What's going on, everybody?
As always, I am one of your hosts, Mrs. Sharon Scott. I have to make sure I say Mrs. or else somebody gets a little bit of attitude if people don't know that I'm married.
I ain't get married for you not to say Mrs. I want all my benefits. I'm the other host, Peter Scott, aka Game for Hire.
Yes.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
You also get upset when I call you my baby daddy, although it is a factual thing.
Your husband. That's different.
Yes.
I'm a father. I'm not a baby's daddy.
You are. My baby.
Nope.
Has a daddy.
Baby daddy has a connotation assigned with it, which doesn't fit for me. I lived my whole life to not be a baby daddy.
Okay. But it's still a true factual statement. Black and white.
Nope.
Plain facts. Despite the connotation that comes with it.
Okay, a lint licker is literally a person who licks lint. Who licks
Who
lint.
just like...
Who licks lint.
Right.
But you don't call them a lint licker just because of that.
They lick lint.
So, words have meanings. That has a connotation with it.
And baby daddy has the meaning of you being the father of my baby.
Nope.
Okay. So, of course, this is Shooting with the Scots. We are 7 episodes in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you all know how this thing's go.
Take your time.
I'm sure you all know how this thing goes by now. We are here to talk, to shoot the shit, to go over our roses and thorns, just to reflect on our week. Sometimes I will then have a weird, spontaneous question to ask Peter just to...
Sometimes we get guests coming in on an airplane. So, there's that.
Yes. And then after we discuss any weird questions, we go into our topic for the week.
Mm-hmm.
So after we go over our roses and thorns, I'm kind of excited about this topic. I kind of came up with it like last night.
Oh, gosh.
But I want to talk about multiverse theory.
Multiverses.
Yes. And how those things play out.
All right.
So, but first, our roses and thorns. You went last week, right?
Yeah. I go every week.
You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll start out since. My thorn is that with me taking prenatals and being pregnant and just having, a lot of bodily changes, my nails grow like freaking wildfire. So I have broken 2 of my nails already. And I'm just like, when is Thursday going to get here so I can get my nails done? Like, I'm going to feel self-conscious throughout this whole video and try to only speak with one hand and not both of them.
Everybody breaks their nails. People know how it looks.
Yeah.
You just normal people. Normal people break their nails.
Okay, fine. I'm going to put it in the camera. You see, this one's missing because I got a weird-ass first finger. And then this one's missing because part of it just broke when I was in the store yesterday. So, that gets over that fear. Now I'll talk with both hands since I just put that out there for everyone to see.
It's the world. Everybody breaks
I am
their
still
nails.
trying
That's
to,
how nail salons stay in business.
You're funny. But I'm still trying to break free of the what's the word?
Stigma.
Respectability politics, to be like, oh, you got to be so prim and proper and all the time.
I am
have
here
everything perfect.
in my night pants, chilling.
Yes. I was wondering if you were going to change your pants, honestly, but I wasn't going to say shit about it because I'm just like,
we chill with the
it
sky.
is what it is.
I gotta be prim and dressed
I'm just
up.
saying. Look, I'm sure once this baby gets here, I'm going to have some stuff on my shirt.
Man,
like,
they lucky I brushed my hair or my beard.
You just do that. My rose is that I feel like the bigger and bigger this child gets, the more and more I feel her moving around and shifting. And like it's just so surreal. Like it's just weird. Cause I be like, sometimes I be like, is this just in my head? Like am I just gassy?
No, there was that one
But
time
no.
you had my hand there, and I was like, oh, she got a boxing bag in there.
Man, look, she was kicking the mess out of my stomach.
I heard
Like,
few good thumps. I was like, oh, that's you, huh, Shorty? Yeah, man.
So, it's just like, it's getting to that point where it's like, all right, cool. Like, you really a whole person moving around and grooving.
Yeah,
and
just growing more and more.
doing shit.
Just looking over photos, seeing how much she's actually grown.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's surreal.
Mm-hmm.
Got a whole person growing inside you.
Oh, man, it's weird.
It's gonna come out of your hoo-ha.
That part I'm not quite ready for. I mean, I am,
Yeah, all right.
but I'm not.
Just gotta get past the head. Rest is easy.
Yes. But it's also just the realization that,
Giving birth, gonna be a mama,
yeah,
raising the whole life,
yeah.
accountability.
I'm just glad I don't have to do it by myself. Like, also, just while we talking, so I told y'all that I met with my new therapist, or
Right.
if I didn't, I'm telling you now. And I really like her, but I feel like every time I have like that first introductory meeting with a therapist, they're always like, "Oh, you are way too hard on yourself," and I'm just like, "Yes, that is why I'm here, to learn not to do those things."
Yeah,
like.
man.
But it's just like, bro, if somebody else tell me I'm way too hard on myself, like, okay.
Hey, this is all of their first impressions.
Gosh, why is that everybody's first impression?
Cause you're hard on yourself.
It's like, I'm trying to
They're
be
all like,
soft.
"Shorty, chill out, relax."
Nah.
The world is not that serious. It's just saying.
Yeah.
Do I have any thorns? Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandmother passed away.
Yeah.
That's a thorn. We weren't all that close, but, still my grandmother.
Right.
My father and my older brother are taking it harder than the rest of us. My father being the oldest, so he's been around the longest.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
my
actually has
brother,
solid memories.
yeah, my older brother, he was born in Jamaica. She kind of raised him for those first few years. So, just seeing them suffer is rough. And it's not really, the men in my family don't suffer like normal people suffer. It's kind of like, they get this solemn look and then they start making jokes, and it's like, they try to avoid the emotions by making jokes. So it's just like, all right,
Gosh.
you laugh to keep from crying. So let's crack some jokes, guys.
Yeah.
But my dad went over to Jamaica, buried his mother. So there's a thorn. Do I have any roses? I felt like I did, but I can't remember.
Dang, you gotta get better about that. Look on the bright, sunny side. Jeez Louise.
I don't know, man. I'm still alive. This is
Oh my gosh.
Still kicking and breathing.
I mean, yes, technically, but
Hey, you gotta find them where they at.
oh my gosh, I'm not crying.
No.
My eyes just watering.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
So what's
Are
your
you
question? Yeah.
Okay. If you went to therapy, what would be one thing your therapist says about you upon a first impression?
Oh.
I just was like, thought of it. Something that would be a trend. Because I've had 3 therapists. And all of them have said I'm pretty fucking hard on myself.
I think it would probably be either you're very aware of your issues or you don't take anything serious. So the opposite of you.
Okay.
So either one of those. Yeah.
I would say I have to agree.
I don't know. Like, I go with the flow in a lot of things. So even when things do phase me, I'm kind of like, it's time to move on.
It's weird because in the grand abstract scheme of things, yes, you go with the flow. But also after being married to you for 2 years and knowing you for a lot longer than that, you are also very regimented.
I
If
go with
that's
my
a
flow.
word. Exactly. You're just like, all right, here's what I'm doing. Here's what always gets done. Here's how it happens. That you don't deviate a lot.
It's more so when a wrench get thrown into my life. It's just like, all right, I guess we got to fit this in somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'll make it work.
I would say, like, in the grand aspect scheme, yes, I would agree. But, like, day-to-day operations, no. You have a set schedule. You stick to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And having a set, I get fixed on my issues. I know what they are. I'm working on fixing them, but I know what they are.
Yeah, but, like, not to get too deep because we had 2 deep-ass episodes. And I'm trying to, like, keep things light. But just general question. If you yourself are identifying your issues and you say that you yourself are working on them alone, then how do you know if what you're doing is working?
I compare it to previous experiences, if that makes sense, or how I react to previous experiences.
Okay.
Like, Pops, love you dearly. You ain't got no issues. But when I spoke of my issues that I had with my father, I couldn't really get through that conversation without boohoo crying. And now it's just like, I'm stating a fact because that's how it was and that's how it is.
Yeah.
So, if that makes sense, y'all.
So, okay. I see that. That's an effective tool. Because that's kind of how I see my growth. Is like, if something happens and I handle it differently, I kind of recognize that I've handled that differently instead of how I would have handled it a year or so ago. And that's a good way to measure that progress. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's about it. I mean, I kind of use that as a gauge. It's like, if I'm still reacting the same way to, or doing something that I've recognized as the issue the same way, then I'm obviously still in the process of figuring that out. So, compare and contrast.
I think for me, personally, it gets tricky like, I'm debating if I want to talk about this. But
I got 10 minutes, right?
The question would be, are you okay with me talking about this? So, okay. Okay. forewarning, for people who view us in a certain light, you don't want to know about sexual conduct, please feel free to skip the next few minutes, because
We'll put a time here somewhere
that
to skip to.
and it's not even all that explicit, for real, for real. If you want to be nosy, be nosy. But again, if you don't.
It's a safe space, y'all.
It is. And that's why I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. So for me, and it's also really weird because I've been like trying to think of like the perfect quote unquote time for us to like talk about this as two people. But it hasn't always seemed to like naturally come up.
Right.
So
Right.
here we are. Okay, so sometime last week, we were talking about things that like actions that you'll like for sure know I'm ready to get it on. Like, and like you was like, yeah, like, you know, I was talking about the instance where I like had my head laid on your lap and we were like sitting there. And you was just like, yeah, like a couple years ago, you were just dead so-and-so. And I was just like, you right, a couple years ago I would have. And then like I had started to like spiral a little bit because it's like, when did it change? Like I used to always initiate sex. Like I used to, like I just wasn't.
When we got married,
I wasn't like afraid or apprehensive or anything about it. But like the more and more I thought about it, and at first I was like, you know, yeah, when we got married, like whatever. But honestly, it was way before that. Like for me, I think it was when the Snapchat incident happened. And the reason why is because like before then I just felt like I could do whatever, like anything that I did, like I could just do whatever. I was comfortable, open about anything, like, so it was just like, you know, if I want to have sex, I'm gonna show you that I want to have sex, no problem. But when that whole incident happened, it was kind of like, you know, one, it was the feeling that I've been doing everything and been openly comfortable and still kind of felt like I wasn't enough. And then on second hand, it was like, okay, now I constantly have this question where it's like, I'm not going to stress you out about what you do on your phone. And it's like, that's your business. I trust that you hold yourself accountable and behave as if you're in a relationship with respect to me. And with respect to our relationship. So, but I still always kind of had this like subconscious feeling of, how do I know that if I initiate, you want to have sex with me because I did something that turned you on, or because if it was something you saw on your phone, out on the internet, wherever, that turned you on. And then it was like, so bringing it back to like wrapping everything up. I didn't come to that realization until like last week, when I actually allowed myself to feel those feelings. And I've been like, okay, well, I decided we were going to move on with our life, that I was going to forgive you, and we were just going to let it go and let it be what it was and keep things moving. And I like never addressed those feelings, and I never let myself like feel them essentially until like years later. And it's just like, and it's just weird because it's like you can, and like I wholeheartedly all this time was just like I knew something was up, but I never really like contributed to that because I had convinced myself mentally that I was like done with it, over with. It wasn't going to affect us. We had our talks, we had our cries, and we've moved on from it.
Yeah.
But to just realize that like
Something still lingers.
it still lingers. Like, and I saw something on Facebook like a couple of times. And it was like, it essentially just said like I couldn't heal from my past because I kept pretending that I wasn't hurt. I was like, shit, like how many people do that on a day-to-day basis regularly? Like,
no, yeah, I agree. As you know, staying on the topic of as you said, not really moving on or not being able to heal because you pretending you're okay. The Snapchat incident stemmed from my trust issues because of my previous relationship. Thinking I'm okay, but obviously I'm still conducting myself in a manner where I felt like the same situation was going to happen again. So, in preparation for that, I never really let go of certain things. So, yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like with a lot of people, especially 2021, people are so focused on the healing and being better. Nobody really talks about or focuses on the process of how much work it actually takes, of how people always focus on the end product and that the process to getting there. So that gets kind of lost in the shuffle where it's like, all right, this is how I should feel or this is how I should act because I've claimed that this doesn't bother me or I'm manifesting
a healthier relationship or
manifesting a healthier mindset or so I have to pretend. And it's like, but at the end of the day, just like with acting or script writing, you're going to keep pretending until that becomes second nature. People practice scripts and memorize and keep going over it until it becomes second nature, that they don't have to think about the words, they just do it. So that's kind of a pitfall some people fall into, where it's like I've been so focused on how I should feel at the end of this that I haven't actually done the work to properly feel that way. So in a sense, I'm faking the funk. While I haven't washed my ass. So.
And it's just like, it was like, I don't know, it was just weird to like, and then another thing, and again, this goes back to my statement about therapy. It's just like, I had like, even as I was like unpacking and dealing with it and feeling those feelings and like giving them room, I was also just like, a couple of times I was like, I shouldn't still be this upset by this. Like, I shouldn't still be, it's been 10, I'm 10. It's been like 5-6 years since that whole thing happened and I'm still like feeling this feeling. But it's also just like, but because I faked the funk. I was just like, you know, I'm supposed to be over this. I'm supposed to not feel this way. I said that I wouldn't hold a grudge, so I have to actively act like I'm not holding the grudge. And it's like,
for me, the wake up call for me was the Snapchat incident. It was like, I can't pretend like I'm okay and I have no worries about our relationship, because it's like you said, during the time you've always asked, you've always done those relationship check-ins. It's like, is everything okay? Am I doing enough? This, that, and the other. And me feeling like, you know, I'm supposed to say yeah, so there won't be any issues. Let me just say yes. Everything's fine. I mean, I ain't got no issues. Not realizing that
the whole time you had an issue.
I obviously had one. Like, and I didn't recognize I had one until it was pointed out that this must be something wrong. So that prompted me and required me to do the work to properly be here for you so we could get to the point where we're getting married and now having a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's just sometimes people need a trigger or something to look at to realize that they might just be pretending, or maybe a cloud is shaped the wrong way and you're just like, I'm not okay.
Look, it could for real be anything. Let's be honest. But yeah, okay. We went back that. And even on the opposite end, and like I don't think I ever would have come to that realization without therapy. But I've never even talked about that in therapy, and it's just like the way having tools applied to other situations in my life have helped with certain things. Because giving yourself grace and time to feel your feelings and not be so hard on yourself is definitely something that I learned in therapy, and that I actively put into practice. What was I going?
To the next topic.
You're right. So, on to our topic for the day. And I am interested. I'm very interested to see how you feel about this.
Oh, goodness.
I want to talk about multiverse theory and whether you think that there is a possibility that multiverses exist.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Everything else that goes along with that.
I am 100%, 110% sure that we all just woke up one day and was Bernstein bears. Like, you're not telling me an entire generation of people spelled it Bernstein's bear as all of a sudden it has an A in it.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's fine. I'm pretty certain there's an alternate universe where Hillary Clinton won as president and they did not have to deal with 4 years of Trump. I'm pretty certain. There are pivotal moments in society that if it just swung the other direction, the entire world
Everything
would be different. The
different.
entire world will be different. Will Smith was supposed to be Neo in The Matrix. Could you
Oh my gosh.
imagine?
That would be a completely different
John
trilogy.
Wick, Will Smith.
That would be a completely different
Come
trilogy.
on, man.
Or quadrilogy. This is 4.
There's 4 now. Yeah.
Yeah. I have for a very, very, very long time believed that multiverses have existed. And it's just like, it's so weird. The more and more I think about it, the more and more like, I guess evidence comes up about it. So like in college, I took an astronomy class and that's where my love of astronomy like really started. But at the end of the semester, our final project was essentially to just come up with a presentation on literally anything we fucking wanted to.
Right.
And one person did a presentation on dark matter. It was a combination of things, but essentially dark matter, which essentially is just, for lack of a better term, stuff out in the universe, like nobody, scientists, astronomers, or whatever.
Unclassified energy.
That's a more eloquent way to put it, but yes. It's essentially just energy that exists, that it's undeterminable where it came from, what it does, how it behaves. Like, it's just there. It's there out in the universe. And then it was more so talked about how, like, the universe is constantly expanding, but, like, there's no evidence of what the universe is expanding into. So some people speculate that that's where the dark matter is coming from, like the universe starting to like spread out and the space between the molecules and
getting wider.
Is getting wider, which creates that dark energy. So, and it's just like, so the whole idea of the universe like expanding out, the next natural question is, what is it expanding into? If the universe is supposed to be a whole complete thing that's infinite.
Right. They love to say it's complete, but it's obviously always growing. Like, they are continually finding new planets. There are stars burning out. Like, if things die, things get created. Like,
Y'all love talk about yin and yang and the balance and things. That's a balance. Something dies, something has to be created.
Yeah.
Like, so who's to say that the energy that's getting expanded isn't alternate universes being created? Like, people, there are philosophers and scientists or whoever, they love to determine that there's a planet for every choice that has been made, or there's a universe where every decision has a opposite outcome. I could have woke up this morning, or I couldn't have. I could have went on a car ride and went to Walmart, or I could have went to Target. There's a universe where either one happened.
Yeah.
And who's to say that's not true? How many, just for the simple fact that, stay on this ride with me for a second.
I was gonna say this episode's gonna get a little weird the more we get into it.
The concept of secret societies. Like, not just in the superficial, low surface Illuminati, they control marketing and what's putting out into the entertainment field, but on a grander scale, like, I'm pretty sure, like, just the simple fact that we have the concept of Area 51.
Yeah.
There are things out there that the human mind just cannot comprehend, so it's being researched and dissected in this one area in the middle of nowhere, so it doesn't affect anything. Like, and there have been different reports about people experiencing different phenomenon or whatever circulating that area, and it's like, you want to chalk it up to people being quacks or crazy, but Einstein was looked at as crazy.
Yeah.
Beethoven was looked at as crazy. All these people who have ended up proving their concepts, like, Beethoven was deaf, and he's one of the greatest musicians in the world. Einstein was a Jew and didn't have, like, conventional education.
Yeah.
But yet he still ended up as one of the world's smartest people.
Scientists, even.
Like, Stephen Hawking was literally confined to a wheelchair, and he's still one of the greatest minds out there.
Like,
But y'all don't think there could be a whole different plane of existence? Let's make it real superficial. A few years ago, we had that damn T-shirt up on Facebook. Where is it, gold and white, or is it blue and white?
Oh, it was a dress, yes.
And it's like,
yeah.
Maybe you're peeping through a veil into another universe where it was blue and white.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So there are, I'll say, let me make sure I keep my thoughts. There are three main reasons why I believe in multiverse theory.
Okay.
And I'm gonna list them, and then I'm gonna explain them.
I ain't get prep time, y'all. So
I'm gonna list them, and I'll explain them. One, because I believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
Two, because of my dreams. And three, because of the whole 2012 I mentioned it earlier, the Bernstein Bears, the Mandela effect. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
So those are
Was
three
Mandela
reasons.
in prison or was he not in prison?
Hilarious.
Like, what the fuck? Of course he was in prison. There was a whole thing about that.
So one, believing in God. So you know, people who believe in God, people are part of I won't say people who are part of religion. People who believe in God, there's a lot of, one of the like core beliefs is that, you know, God created the heavens and earth, everything in between, like vast, just everything in the world came to be in creation because of God. And it's just like, okay, take that, but go a step further. God, in all of God's creation, all of God's power, essentially, didn't just create Earth for things to happen. Mm-hmm. Created the sun, created Mercury, Uranus, all the planets in our solar system. Mm-hmm. Take that a step further. All of the planets that are outside of our solar system. The fact that there are different galaxies that have been seen through telescopes. Like, and then even, honestly, even if you want to bring it down to scale, all of the different plants that we see, all of the different humans, and how I look vastly different from you, all of the fish in the sea, all the birds in the sky, everything that has been created is so different. It has so many intricacies. Like, I feel like it's very small-minded to think that God only created one set, like one.
No, absolutely. I mean,
thing.
People, or us as humans, beings, we cannot wrap our head around just the concept of the universe. Like, the Earth. Has the Earth been around for millions of years or thousands of years? That's a discussion for another day. But however long it has been here, we haven't gotten to the point where we can tell what a black hole, what's on the other side of a black hole, what actually happens when you go in one. Mm-hmm. We have taken pictures of planet that looks eerily similar to Earth, mm-hmm. but we can't see on the planet to see what's going on. We
can't communicate with it.
But we're supposed to believe that we are the sentient beings in the entire cosmos.
Entire cosmos.
Like,
the only thing.
Area 51. Like,
go ahead.
I don't know if you remember, but I remember driving from work and seeing these distinct disc-like lights in the middle of the sky where there was nothing at, and traffic was stopped 4 miles. Yeah. And as soon as they disappeared, we were trying to
go down a back road, and we still saw them.
And we still ended up in traffic. And as soon as they disappeared, or as soon as we couldn't see them anymore, everything cleared up. Just magically. Everything was moving like nothing ever happened. Who's to say that's not coming from another reality or another Earth that has advanced further than we have? Yeah. Like, they want to chalk it up. Even if we are the only sentient beings in the universe, who's not to say those are other humans that just advanced further than we did?
Yes.
I like, there's plenty of shows that loves to call Earth the backwater planet. And I'm pretty damn sure
I believe it. Just think about all the bullshit that we're dealing with. Like, think of our current fucking situation in 2021.
I'm pretty sure we are.
Like, people can't agree on shit. Like, you have all of these dumbass rules and beliefs and regulations that constantly pit people against each other. There's no fucking way we are going to come together and come to terms for the betterment of every fucking body. Like, you can't even agree on fucking universal health care or basic housing.
You can't agree on protecting your own ass by taking a vaccine or not. But, oh shit, what was I going to say?
Backwater planet. Yeah. The only people in the solar system? Or only sentient life in the solar system?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I lost it completely. Either way, it's just like, oh, I was going to say, does art imitate life or does life imitate art? I think art imitates life because we have created these concepts on a better society, on what it takes to become that better society. And we ourselves have not reached that.
Yeah.
But we can come up with the idea. Some shows have laid out laws and rhetoric and everything to back up this society and how it should be, yet we ourselves are not able to take that leap. You can chalk it up to big money or companies keeping the world, or secret societies trying to keep the world the way it is. But there is way too many of us for that to be true. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Like I said, I just don't like, it's just very narrow-minded to believe that God only created this universe that we see, and you mean to tell me that God can create billions of different life forms? Hold on. You mean to tell me that God can create billions of life forms that we can see and observe on our planet, but God would only do that for us right here, right now, in this solar system, in this universe? Like it's just very close-minded to say that being of infinite power would not use that power to infinity.
Let's take that concept of God. How many different gods are out there? And who's to say that just those aren't remnants of a previous world or a previous society?
Yeah.
Like we all have this, because for me it's weird that we have so many different religions celebrating different gods, yet all of these gods sound eerily alike.
I would say there's something that overlaps.
Like, they all want world peace. They all want everybody to be kind to each other. They all want just goodness in general. But why are we calling them all by different names? Why are there
wars about which god you should celebrate and which god you shouldn't? Like,
look, reality is whatever you want to make it.
Yeah.
Because even Twitter has proved we all live in our own world. We are all curated to our own content, to watch, to believe what we all want to believe, to do what we all want to do. What I see and what I believe and what can back up my beliefs is not what you see and what you want to believe and what can back up your beliefs. Some of our platforms overlap. Some people a lot of the black community is on black Twitter, but you have your Hotep society and you have your not so Hotep society.
But even taking that outside of social media,
we are all in our own world.
We're all in our own world. I was gonna say, even if social media never existed, the people that I, living in Maryland, interact with inside my circle are not the same people that somebody who lives in California would interact with in their own circle. Like, that would still change your worldview, where you grow up, the church that you go to, or if you don't go to church, like, the people where you work, everything like that. Like, even outside of social media, each person's worldview is still very curated and very different, simply based on your life circumstances.
And then that probably drills down more into like your life circumstances. Did you get the Bernstein Bears book when it was Bernstein, or when they changed the name? Did Chick-fil-A have a K in it, or did it not have a K in it?
So, okay, so
was Mandela dead, or was he not? Like, what's going on?
I was going to say, so that'll go into my third. We skipping. But another reason as to why I believe that there's a fucking multiverse. So, the Mandela effect, essentially, like, you growing up a certain way, thinking that stuff in the media was what you were, it was a certain way. And then one day you wake up and it's not that anymore. That's not a really good way to describe it, so I'm using an example. For me, I promise you, and as recent as cell phones have been, and text messages have been around, I have always, I would text somebody Chick-fil-A. Oh, you pulled up the definition?
Yeah.
Okay. I would text somebody Chick-fil-A and have to remove the K off of Chick and then finish the rest of the name. When the fuck did Chick-fil-A start having a K on it? Like,
I don't know. So Mandela effect is a phenomenon that makes us question even the most mundane memories from the past. That's basically in a nutshell. Let's see. Nelson Mandela's death. Nelson Mandela, who was the series named after, died in 2013. However, countless people distinctly remember him dying in prison in the 1980s. But his death isn't the only example of a Mandela effect. What else? What?
Bernstein Bears. The Fruit of the Loom. The Fruit of the Loom logo.
Looney Tunes.
Oh, shit. I'm not ready.
Hold up. Almost 0 cents, but yes. Wait, no! Hold up. Alright. So apparently, How do you spell Looney Tunes? How do you spell the tunes in Looney Tunes?
Like a musical tune, Tunes.
Nigga, what?
Yes.
My entire life. Tunesville, Looney Tunes, babe, whatever. All of these Toons.
It's always in T.
No.
N-E-S.
It's
Yes.
been Toons. Why is it Looney? They have never sung a damn song.
Bullshit.
They have never sung a damn
Bullshit.
song. Nah, bruh. Bernstein's Bears didn't exist. It was Bernstein Bears. Like, what the? Tunes. Cartoons. Like, how you don't spell cartoons with T-U-S. Okay. He's a monkey. Apparently, Curious George doesn't have a tail.
That one. That always. It's Curious George was a monkey. He had a tail.
He had a tail.
always
It came
had
out
a
of
tail.
his yellow coat.
So this is an example of why I feel like there's
Bruh.
multiverse theory. And to take it a step further, so like, and it's just little inconsistencies like this.
Bruh.
Oh gosh.
Apparently, Febreze is spelled with one E.
Nah, it's two.
Apparently, Febreze.
Go
is
get that
spelled
fucking
with-
bottle out the closet. It's two.
Apparently, Febreze is spelled with one E.
It's two. It's always been two. Febreze.
Febreze.
It's either two E's or two Z's. But I don't think it would be two E's. I think it's two Z's.
Yo, shut up. Fucking Febreze is spelled with one E.
Nah.
We are not sponsored. Febreze is spelled with one E.
So
That's some bull. That's not true. They changed their bottles.
So, and like I said, I very vividly remember texting people constantly and having to remove the K from Chick-fil-A. So stuff like this is
definitely woken up in a different. Whatever happened in 2012, the Mayan calendar stopped and everything just went to shit.
and that's what I'm thinking, about. I don't think so. The Mayan calendar, it was the whole theory that the world would end in 2012. What if it wasn't? Okay, so what if, like, in a sense, yes, the world ended.
The simulation
But more
ended.
so, what if it was two universes converging? And that's why you have some people who remember things one way and some people who remember things another way.
Just cross. It's like when
Everything
Marvel
just-
did Warworld and all the universes became one on one planet. Man, because apparently Oscar Myers is spelled with an A. I've always thought it was
O-S-C-A-R? Yeah.
M-E-Y-E.
M-A-Y-E-R?
M-E-Y-E. Okay. Whatever.
The whole song.
Exactly.
So
It
what
had
you're
an
saying?
E.
So what you're saying is that we came from two different
We are-
universes.
You wonder how God put us together? He combined the planets. Skechers doesn't have a T in it.
No, Skechers never had a T in it.
Bruh. I ran in some T Skechers with a big ass T on the logo. Man.
Okay, wait. Okay, Sketchers.
Huh?
I was trying to spell Skechers from memory.
Spell it.
S-K... See, now I'm confused. S-K... Sketch. S-K-E-T-C-H-E-R-S.
Right.
Okay.
That's how you're supposed to spell it. But apparently there's no T. Fruit Loops, it's double O instead of fruit.
Yeah, I've always remembered Fruit Loops being double O. Because in
Nah,
history class...
bro.
No, in history
Nah,
class...
bro.
No bullshit. Like,
Nah,
literally,
bro.
in like 5th or 6th grade in
Nope.
history class, we were talking about the nutritional guide pyramid.
Come on, y'all.
They cannot see that.
Can't see that. We gotta put this shit up. Because I'm getting frustrated.
The reason I distinctly remember it being double O is because we were talking about nutrition in like a health class. It had to be like 5th or 6th grade. And they were saying you can tell that it doesn't have any real fruit juice because it's not even spelled F-R-U-I-T. It's
What?
spelled F-R-O-O-T.
None of these cereals had any real shit in it at all.
Hold on. So while we're on the subject of cereal, another thing, and like I really want y'all to go back and think about, or list down in the comments if
I'm
y'all
gonna go
have
through a
any,
few more of these while we're here.
if y'all have any Mandela effect bullshit, Because cereal Trix used to be shaped like fruit. When did it stop being shaped like fruit?
When we weren't kids anymore. We can't see that shit. I'm telling you, little kids can see that shit. They just fucking with us. They got some baby boss agreement shit going on. Like, we cannot tell these adults. It's in the cereal.
I would say the tagline is Tricks are for kids.
The cereal is not allowing them to tell us. They put some in this shit.
Well,
open your third eye.
Harleen cannot have any high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. Apparently, my entire life, I thought the Monopoly Man had a monocle. Apparently, he don't.
Are you serious?
Yes.
It was a monocle and a mustache.
So it wasn't just a redesign? It just never happened?
Oh, shit. What is it?
Pikachu never had a black end of his tail?
Nah, that's bullshit. That is all bullshit.
The end of Pikachu tail was never black?
All bullshit. That's all bullshit. That's bullshit because that's how you can tell whether it was a male or female.
Exactly. Young, stop it.
That's bullshit.
Kit Kat doesn't have a hyphen?
Kit Kat definitely.
Kit Kat had a hyphen. Nah. No. Fuck that. Nah, fam.
So again, 2012, if the Mayan calendar... Fruit of the Loom logo? Like, it's always had the cornucopia.
Cornucopia, that's what it's called.
Always had the cornucopia.
I was about to call it a conch shell.
But that's my theory. What if...
Its. That's why people say cheese its. Cheese its doesn't have a Z at the end of it. It's cheese it.
Cheese. CHEEZ.
It's ITZ.
Yeah.
Nah. No Z at the end of that.
Well, to super throw a wrench, I thought it was ITS.
Oh.
Cheese its.
Nah, they put the Z at both ends.
Apparently, that's wrong, though. Shut up.
All right, one more.
All right, last one because I have a pack and I'm about to check. Apparently, double stuff has one F.
Yeah, STUF.
Bruh.
Yeah,
Bruh.
It's always had one F.
Bruh, no.
Yes.
Bruh.
Sorry, let me turn my phone off. Yes. Absolutely.
CPO does not have a... What? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to be going through this for a while. My mind is blown.
You're going to have to do that on your own time so we can finish up this podcast.
C-3PO doesn't have a silver leg. Or C-3PO isn't all gold. He has a silver leg, apparently.
C-3PO was always all gold.
He was always all gold. He now has a red arm because of new movies, but he's always been gold.
Oh, like 100%.
What?
See? Inconsistencies like this.
But when did Flintstone have two T's in it? Okay, let me put this down.
Flintstones has always had one Flinstones.
Stones.
Bullshit.
So Flint.
Bullshit.
Flints stones.
Nah. I don't believe it. But as you can see, the Mandela effect is very fucking real.
It's very real.
So, again, what if it was just two universes converging?
And a bunch of shit just overlapped. Because, like, there's legitimately half of society, half the world. Febreze doesn't have two E's?
I have always remembered Febreze to have two E's. Just like I have always remembered for Chick-fil-A to
because your mama
not
came
have
from
a K.
this universe, and she brought over a bottle with two E's on it.
Hilarious.
That's what happened. They couldn't erase everything. Go back into this.
No, please stop. So, yeah. I believe that. Okay, for real.
The last one, sorry. Forrest Gump. Great movie. 10 out of 10. Apparently, he never says life is like a box of chocolate.
He was sitting on a bench talking to somebody. It was like a flash forward.
He had a box of chocolate in his lap.
And he was quoting his mom. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know which one you're going to get.
Apparently, he never said that.
No. I refuse. We're going to go watch Forrest Gump on some shit. I refuse. It was a whole ass scene in the movie.
This is our 3.0. So.
So yes. So I think like that's why I'm just like this stuff wouldn't just come out of nowhere. It's not just too many people have had thoughts and realizations about this.
I blame the Reagan administration.
The Reagan administration?
It sounds nice.
Okay.
You usually blame them for everything.
You're right. But I don't think that rule applies here.
Nope, it's their fault. They created Reaganomics and they created this shit.
No, but you like back to your secret societies. What did the Mayans know that nobody else knew? And of course, people like to play it off and be like, "Oh, they just ran out of stone tablets to write on."
There's stone everywhere. They
There's
got this
stone
far.
everywhere.
You don't think they planned for more?
Like, so yeah.
Not my face.
I think that they saw their universe, their world
ending,
coming to an end. But what really happened is that two worlds converged. Because it just so happens that like stuff lined up just enough, but clearly not all the way for it. And it's just like, when did it really happen? Like, nobody can really for sure say when stuff changed. That's why you got people who believe that it's always been this way, or people who believe that it's never been this way.
Next, y'all gonna tell me Puff Daddy was never Puff Daddy. It was always P. Diddy.
Hilarious.
Oh, my face.
So the last thing that makes me believe in multiverse theory, I have dreams. Now, I understand that dreams are sometimes just your subconscious planning out shit, dealing with shit,
I heard dreams.
unpacking shit.
It was too detailed.
Thank you. Okay, so I have a real life, and I think the very first time. Okay, so sorry. So even when I was younger, I would have dreams, but they were more like deja vu type dreams. Like I would see myself doing something, and then like and it would be the simplest stuff. Like one time when I was a kid, my sister was in pre-K, so I was between like 3rd or 4th grade. And I remember having a dream of me like flipping through the closet looking for a coat. But I was just like, I ain't never been in this closet before. I've never seen this. Like, what the heck? A couple months later, we were at our babysitter's house, and the babysitter told me to go in the closet and grab her daughter's coat. And as I'm flipping through the closet, I'm like, oh shit, this is the closet that I saw. Like, and it was just like weird stuff like that. And then like somewhere, like it happened all the time when I was younger. And then like as I got older, started hitting like preteen, adolescent age, it kind of like I didn't have as many dreams anymore. And then the reason I kind of like freaked out was because I'm pretty sure it was around like 2012, 2013, when all of a sudden I started having these vivid ass dreams. Like the very first one that I remember, I remember because I was telling you about it the next morning. So I had this dream, and this was, I'm trying to think of the time. So I was like home from school for like the summer, home from college for like the summer. And I went to college from 2011 to 2015. But I was home from college, and I was talking to you about coming to like visit me at my parents' house. So you were staying home already. So I'm like, all right, this kind of lines up. So I was telling you about my dream, and I had, y'all, I could see everything. I could smell everything. Everything was in color. When I woke up the next morning, I recited this dream literally word for word. I still remember this dream to this day. Like, I told Peter exactly how it happened, the beginning, middle, end. Granted, I'm not going to say that these dreams are always plausible. Sometimes some weird shit happens. So I'm going to just tell the dream. Okay. So I had a dream that me and Peter went on a date to the movies. And then after we were walking out of the movie theater, and these people pull up in a van, blindfold us, kidnap us, put us in this van. But when we wake up, we're in the jungle in this cabin. And so we were in this cabin, and we were like tasked with figuring out like why everybody who comes here dies or whatever. And it was like, again, weird shit. So we were tasked with figuring out why everybody who comes there dies. We had like figured out somebody was like a doorman, not a doorman, like a delivery person. But he came to our door after we had been there for like 3 or 4 weeks. He came to our door, and just like collapsed. He was like, no, he came to our door, delivered a box of science supplies, and then was like, it's the chickens, and then collapsed. And we was like, what the fuck? So we took a vial of his blood, burned the body because we was like, whatever that shit is, we don't want no parts of it. Started doing science experiments, and come to find out that the chickens were poisonous to us. And then we went on this hunt in the jungle to try to kill all the chickens. Now, granted, yes, I understand that seems weird. But the weirdest part about all of it was that, like, it was so vivid. It was so real. I saw everything in color. I felt the breeze from the forest. Like, I smelled the dirt. Like, we made Kool-Aid. I tasted the Kool-Aid. Like, it's not what happened, but more so how immersed in it I was. And then after that, I've had more and more dreams. Like, you can, like, 110% no bullshit. Peter has, like, woken up to me crying because I'm, like, boo-hooing off of some shit that happened in a dream that, like, I felt that deeply that, like, in the morning I'm waking up with tears on my face. Like, so it's just, like, I feel like my dreams are, like...
Just tapping into those other multiverses.
For a little bit. So, to take it a step even further than that, I've started having dreams where I've, like, gone back to visit the same places. So, like, I'll have a dream that, like, multiverse me is going through some relationship issues or, like, talking to somebody months later. And then, like, a year later, I'll have a dream, and then people are talking to me, like, hey, how's so-and-so? How did that thing, like, that specific thing that happened in that old dream go, like, you know, picking up where I left off, kind of, you know? And it's just like
the veil between worlds is thinned,
and it's just weird. It's so weird. It's so weird.
No, I believe you.
It's so weird.
Just the amount of detail you can put into it, and like, dreams are fleeting. They usually are. It's the fact that it sticks with you. You can still remember them. Like, you feel them. You wake up emotionally attached to them. Like, yeah, they're weird, and I wouldn't put it past, because nobody really knows what happens to you while you're asleep. Mm-mm. Like, people are still scanning the brain, doing sleep studies to this day. Like, nobody really knows what happens to you, because nobody really understands what makes a human. Like,
no, at all.
So they don't know if your mind goes somewhere. They're scanning your brain waves and all of these patterns to see if you're still there. Like, oh, here's a spike. She might be dreaming. Mm-hmm. But nobody really knows what happens. Like, are we a spirit in flesh? Are we just flesh? Like, nobody really knows. So who's to say that our spirit isn't just hitching a ride in another body that's eerily similar to ours because they ain't got nothing better to do?
Like, and it's just like the whole idea, and then, like,
your consciousness is waking up in another reality,
just for a little bit, and then it's just like, and like, honestly, at one point I was like, bro, like, why do all these other Sharons get to go on these wild ass adventures and do all this other shit? But then I'm also like, if the roles were reversed and I'm constantly going through shit and constantly dealing with wild shit, I would want to take a break where I'm just like, I sit on my ass every day. Like, it would be a relief. Like I would be amazed by it. Like, you know,
you're just here, just chilling, just getting the rest all over.
Man, like, and then there are some times where I, like, recognize that I'm in the dream, and it's like, I understand that goes into, like, lucid dreaming a little bit, but it's like, I don't know, it's different. Like,
would that explain, sticking with your multiverse theory, right, and soul hopping or brain hopping, would that explain the phenomenon where people who are driving just blank out, drive for miles, and
somehow still end up home
safe and sound, exactly where they need to be at exactly the right time? They don't remember getting in the car, starting it, stopping at that stoplight, and then
They just
Come
pop
on.
up where they are. Like, how the fuck did I get here?
So some people say that that's muscle memory, but it still doesn't explain why your brain blinks out.
Mm-hmm.
It still doesn't. It does.
Just
That
you
doesn't
lose
explain that
Complete
part.
consciousness. Like, it's weird. Who's to say that's not another multiverse version of yourself hopping in the drive? Like, all right, let me chill for a second.
Like
The battle for the 28th century. Woo! I just need to drive real quick.
Like it's weird, and it's just like, and then bringing it even like back to God. Like so a little while ago at church, we did this like quiz survey about like what your godly gifts are. And of course it was a simple, like regular things, the gift of discernment, the gift of prophecy, all the other stuff.
Right.
But I don't know, man. And like, I'm gonna pray on it a little bit, but like, it's just, it's eerie that like, if it was just a dream, if I was just like seeing weird stuff or even like not all of them are weird. Like the first one that I remember though, like literally I had a dream a couple nights ago where I was just like chilling, and it would just be like the smallest things that would be different. Like I was just chilling at a baseball game, and like people were coming up to us, talking to us, yada yada yada, and it was just like, it was like a regular ass day, like. And it's just like, it would be different if all of them were outlandish, crazy things. And I'd be like, okay, that's just my subconscious, like, decompressing shit from the day. But the fact that I go into regular ass everyday scenarios, feeling, smelling, like all of my senses are awakened, like, that's what makes it kind of like weird for me. And then for the longest time, I thought everybody could just like feel their dreams. But some people don't even dream in color.
I don't remember my dreams. There are specific ones I remember, and they either mean something or I'm pretty sure it's telling me about my future. Like one dream I had recently in the last, let's say a few weeks, 3 weeks, and I still remember vividly, is I woke up in a house, bright outside, big yard. My car was outside. I went downstairs to giggle and laugh in. And at the island, there was 2 little girls faced the counter, and one turned around and was like, "Good morning." The oldest one turned around and was like, "Good morning, Dad." I was like, "Hi, Harley." And I was like, "Oh, I dreamt of my daughter." But then I realized the other one didn't say anything. She didn't turn around, but I'm damn well certain I'm going to have 2 daughters. And I'm just sitting with that. I'm just like, nah, I'm going to have 2 daughters. I might as well give it up on my namesake. I'm going to have 2 daughters. And I'm convinced because I feel like every part of me was like, no, we were in West Virginia. It was bright outside. I feel like we were where we're going to move, whatever house we're going to move in. It was the house we got. And our second daughter was at least 3 sitting at this island. And like, I remember myself saying, "Good morning, Harley," and she turned around. The other one didn't, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have 2 daughters.
She just not here yet.
Just not here yet.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and then you want to go back to, like whether we're a spirit in a body or whatever. Like, just, I know there's a lot of debate on when egg becomes a human. A fertilized egg becomes a human. But it's like, I feel like it's different because even me being pregnant, like the fact that certain foods makes Harley move more than usual. The fact that the fact that she recognizes your voice while being inside of the womb, like that makes me feel like you have a personality and a soul that's all your own. Like you're individual.
She like, it's not even just that. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be camera shy. Like
absolutely.
She does not like sonograms. Like it's like
every
she knows.
single one that we've been
it's
to.
It's like she just knows. She probably hears us talk. Oh, I'm gonna be on camera. All right, let me go to the back here, hide my face there, see my ass, kiss my ass. Goodbye.
Every single one.
Like last time, the only reason she turned around is I guess
You asked her to.
We talked to her. And she's like, I ain't fine, nigga, damn.
Like, I was like, Hartley, they need pictures
Let's
of your
get this
heart.
done with
Like,
so I ain't got to come back here.
I was just saying, this was the second sonogram that we had
The
went
first
to.
one, she heard me, she gave me like, what's up? Like, she
That was it.
legitimately, we saw her nod her head, like, what's up? All right, I'm going to go back.
That was it.
Like,
But it's just like, but it's just things like that. It's like, you know, if at one point, and just like pregnancy in general, if at one point you go from not being anything
Right.
to all of a sudden developing, growing arms, growing legs, like having a heartbeat, you know, practicing breathing, all this other stuff, you become a person. Like who's to say that the transference of her soul from wherever it was before here isn't the same thing that could happen in a dream? It's just not permanent.
soul piggybacking in another reality for a while.
You know? So it's just like... And then also, and it's like, again, and it's like, the reason I think it's like a multiverse theory is because like certain things, some stuff does not line up. Sometimes things be completely off. But sometimes things line up. Like in a couple of my dreams, I've still been pregnant. Like, but then in a few, I have not. Like, so it's like, how do these things line up? And it's funny that you say, you know, you talked about your dream. And this, I'm going to start to wrap up with this. I 100% believe that multiverses are real. I don't know. Part of me wants to say that it's just my subconscious thinking and feeling on this, but I also don't think about multiverse theory every day, but I still randomly will have dreams that mollywop the shit out of my emotions. Like, that are still so vivid that I smell, feel everything, wake up to. But like, it's weird because it's like, I feel like I have, like, every now and then I'll have a dream that, like, not necessarily about Harleen, but like, she'll be there. Right. So like last night, I had a dream. So one time, a couple months ago, I had a dream that we were at your brother's house. And like all our nieces and nephews were there, like everybody. It was like a see the baby type thing. And like I could see the baby like laying on my chest and like lifted her head up to look at me. And it's just like, dang, like it felt weird. It just felt weird.
I'm ready to go if you're ready to go.
And like as if like an acknowledgement, like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
And then last night I told you I had a dream, and I think this was just my mind unpacking stuff because this dream wasn't as vivid. But I had a dream that we had like septuplets, and we put all the kids' names, and we put all the kids' names on their shirts to like tell them apart, and like all the other kids were dark skinned, like they looked like they were all siblings. But there was one little girl who I like walked up to, and she looked at me and started smiling. And I looked at her and I rubbed her head and like hugged her close, and like, but she had Harleen on her shirt, and I was like, okay, kid, like, but like that part of the dream.
God telling you, all right, we're gonna send those 5 off for adoption. Keeping this one.
Like, but like
we ain't
that.
about to do is raise 6 kids.
That one part of the dream was like real, like vivid.
Like I said, when she turned around, I saw her face. I saw everything about her vividly and clearly. Like she was smiling. I heard her say "Good morning, Dad," and I heard myself say "Good morning, Harley." And it's just the other one didn't turn around. It's like, I'm not ready for you yet.
I'm not quite here yet.
I'll get there.
But yeah, I don't know. I think multiverses exist. I think sometimes we get glimpses into either our futures later on, you know, glimpses of our realities, or alternate
generations
realities
down. Whoever gets reborn to look just like us, probably hopping in their bodies.
It's a lot of them. I don't know about that. It's a lot of them.
You might just gonna live for a long time. That face of yours is just gonna get recycled.
Gosh.
I feel like everybody got a doppelganger somewhere out there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm positively. You can see pictures of like old pictures from like hundreds of years ago where they put them side by side next to like celebrities today, and they look almost identical.
Well, Keanu Reeves and Pharrell are vampires. We know that much. It's
Yes,
just
but, like-
everybody else.
Everybody else. So yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I'm interested to see what people think.
Thanks
Tell
for staying
me...
on this ride for us.
Right. Tell me if y'all think multiverses are real. Tell me if y'all have experienced the Mandela effect. Like,
Because this shit bullshit.
you saw. Like, I don't know. If you have your own theories, just drop them down in the comments. I want to chat about this. Like, this is why I was so excited about this, because it's like, this is one of the things I mull over in my spare time all the time for no real reason.
This is the end. Feel free to click off. But apparently the saying was never mirror, mirror on the wall.
She was talking to a mirror that was on the wall.
It was magic mirror on the wall.
Bullshit. It was mirror, mirror.
Bullshit!
On the wall.
I have a whole game I'm streaming on Friday. And the whole point is he has to rhyme and end up saying mirror, mirror on the wall. Like, the fuck? There are whole games and creations based off of that saying.
Yeah.
Hundreds of people say, Luke, I am your father. But apparently it's just, I am your father.
We literally just, like
I said, feel free to click off. We're done here. Thanks for coming. It's been real.
It's been another episode of Shootin' with the Scotts. We have been the Scotts. And as always, we will see you every Monday at 12.
It was in the movie. Apparently, Freddie Mercury, when he sings We Are the Champion, he doesn't end it with Of the World. It was in the movie.
It was
Like,
literally in the movie. Bye, y'all.
bruh. I remember, okay, yeah. I remember there are 52 states.
Really?
Yes. Like, obviously, flag 50 states. But I learned that we have 2 extra states that they just, because of the optics of the flag, they're not just going to add 2 stars up there.
What are the... No. No. 50 states, including Hawaii and Alaska.
The 50, they're
Those are not the 2 extras.
I've learned that there was 52 states.
How old?
Sinbad never played it? No!
Here we go.
What? Kazam. You watch Kazam? Like
I thought
the
it was
old...
Shazam.
No. Shazam is a DC Comics character.
No, there was a movie about a genie named Shazam. Maybe it was Kazam, and I'm tripping, but I'm pretty sure.
No, you're right.
Thank
You're right. This one is perhaps the most bizarre of all. Several people can attest that they distinctly remember seeing the comedian in a movie called Shazam.
Thank you.
Sinbad was in Shazam.
Thank you.
Many argue they're confusing this memory with the movie Kazam, starring Shaquille O'Neal. No, I've seen both of them.
Okay.
No, because I remember Sinbad in those big ass green pants.
Yeah.
He was in like
He was a genie.
an abandoned what's it called? A garage? Like
Probably.
like with the kid, like I remember that shit. Nah.
I definitely... Okay. So, hold on. I remember...
Go ahead. Before I hit you with the next one.
So, I remember both, but I thought Shazam was with Shaq because his name was Shaq. SS.
Oh, nah. I remember Shazam with... Because that's the one I went
But I
to.
definitely still remember the...
Because I was gonna
Sinbad
say
one.
before I read it, I was gonna say that because when you said it was called Shazam, I was gonna say no, the one with Sinbad is Kazam, but no, Shazam was the one with Sinbad, and Kazam was the one with Shaquille O'Neal.
Really?
But apparently, Shazam was never real.
I remember both of them. There's no way that one of them wasn't real.
Exactly, I remember watching both of them. Smokey the Bear name isn't Smokey the Bear. Isn't Smokey the Bear. It's Smokey Bear.
No, it was Smokey the Bear because only you can prevent forest fires. Like,
Yep,
It was
that's his
Smokey
name. Contrary to
the
popular
Bear.
belief, his name isn't Smokey the Bear. It's Smokey Bear.
That's dumb. Why would a bear have a first name and a last name? It's Smokey
The Bear.
He was Smokey.
He was a bear named Smokey.
I feel like
Bruh.
a pimp named Slickback. Like,
You gotta say the whole thing.
like, that is hilarious.
Neil Armstrong is dead?
Yeah.
I did
Neil
not.
Armstrong was the wait. The
astronaut.
The astronaut is
Yeah.
definitely dead.
Apparently he died in 2012.
Yeah. Wait, I thought he died way before 2012.
Apparently he died in 2012.
See what I mean? A lot of this
I
shit is
missed that.
around 2012 though.
I
Because when
missed
did they say
that.
Mandela died?
Oh man, 2008.
Oh. That's fucking
Billy
weird.
Graham. Oh, I don't know much about Billy Graham.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Apparently, Mother Teresa entered sainthood in 2016 at the 1990s.
What?
Okay, I don't know much about that one. Lindsay's baby kidnapped. Lindenberg baby. Don't know much about that one. People said Leo got an Oscar way before 2016.
No, I remember. No. What was it for if he did? Because if he did, it was for like the Titanic.
Was it not? Disney World Castle was in the interest of Disney World?
Was it not?
If you ever been to the Magic Kingdom, do you recall where the castle was located? Some, even one Orlando local on Reddit, clearly remember it being the entrance to the park. But apparently it's not. It's like in the back.
Really?
Yeah. Alright, that's it.
That's weird. That's so weird. If y'all are still watching it, they like this has been weird as shit.
1 E and Febreze? Really? Like,
Yes.
nigga.
I've never spoke. Z is like
Chick-fil-A doesn't have a K in it.
Chick-fil-A doesn't have a K. I'm on the Chick-fil-A app right now. Chick-fil-A has never had a K.
Bruh.
Never.
Baffling.
I vividly like. You mean to tell me that all those times that I remember typing Chick-fil-A and then having to take the K off because it automatically corrected to chick with a K was wrong? You mean to tell me those memories are just fabricated?
This is another hour 30. I might get 2 episodes out of this.
Golly. That's because I wanted to talk about my emotions.